All right.
What?
That one.
I can't do shit, but I know I want to. Maybe if we talk about it, I'll find shit to do. I got a brain somewhere and you got one too. Da-ba-da-da, something, something to be fucking do.
Welcome.
Welcome. All right.
Yeah,
It's the only glass I could find.
it's good. They're jars, aren't they?
This feels like a vase.
I find them weird. Vix loves them. I don't get them. They got lids that you screw onto them. It's glass. Why do I want a lid on it?
Yeah. Why can't it just be a glass?
I don't know. I don't understand them.
I'm on a water high. Well, not
High on water.
I'm drowning.
Oh right, okay.
Guess basically what it is.
Yeah,
I've cut out like
you're a glass half full kind of guy.
I'm a glass I'm dying kind of guy. Yeah, there's like I've started to get some discipline back in my life,
Okay.
and one of those, and the most challenging one has always been the hell's that?
What?
Korg.
It's a metronome.
It's like a Digimon.
That?
Yeah.
It's a metronome.
Why don't you just use your phone?
It's annoying.
Why don't you use your phone?
I don't know.
I want a blue one.
It's kind of a concentration thing. Like if I don't really, I try not to use my phone for anything when I'm practicing because otherwise I'd rather have my phone out of the room. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you've got a strong relationship with your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the point where like, yeah, you feel you've some. Would you say you're addicted to your phone in a little way?
I can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just best to keep it away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that makes sense. Why
Stops me getting
cheap and
distracted.
cheerful?
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know. I like. I don't know. I kind of.
If I got one, I'd want one like a huge one.
Like
that
Big
blocks
Ben.
the mantelpiece. Yeah. So I was gonna start practicing. Talk. Yeah, okay, I got this. I'm in time.
How can you not be?
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, you've got a metronome. And
Yeah.
It sits above your shelf.
Yep.
Why not put it down? It's too much.
You just
So I've stopped drinking water and it's going great. I've started drinking water.
you
and
started
it's going
drinking
great.
water. Yeah.
I've just stopped drinking everything else because if I do have a drug, the drug is fizzy drinks, very much so.
Yeah.
To a point where I think it's a weird, but it definitely is the alcoholic's addiction. Like, I mean, I got a sandwich on the way here and I was just stood at the fridge just looking at all the cans of drinks. Like, oh, that would be great. And then just no.
Are you a bee?
I guess.
Maybe it's just colour. Like
No, it's how cold and there's not even refreshing, but just the chemically cold taste.
yeah.
And the chemically coldness of it. It's just like, oh, that'd be so good.
I was never big on it. I can get that way about like the idea of like a cold beer on a hot day. Like I can get like that now.
Yeah, I get that about fizzy drinks. Basically.
I just never had it. When we were kids, we had a soda stream, and I just wasn't interested at all. My sister got like absolutely addicted to it for a long time. Like, and I imagine if you had a soda stream, it would be chaos.
Just be straight out the bag. Forget the soda. Just. I guess it comes down from years of like late night computer stuff.
Yeah.
Whether it be games or friends or whatever, and you just be like, right, we're all getting together for a LAN party, or we're all going to get together and do something all night, watch films all night, or whatever. And part of that would be like a midnight feast. You'd have it like Cubs.
Yeah.
Start off with that, I guess, and then it just became part of the ritual.
Yeah.
And then it slowly integrates itself into your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like lemonade is a cure for nausea for me, just because when I was a kid, whenever I was feeling ill, I was given lemonade.
Yeah.
It's like, bubbles. Like, okay. And now that's how it works. That's how science works. Your brain just goes, well, I've got lemonade now, so everything's fine. Don't ask questions. It's just everything's fine. So yeah, I think it just becomes part of your thing. But you spend so much money on it, and it's just I noticed that if I can control that, then I control pretty much everything else.
Yeah.
Because like you don't want to like a kebab when you're having like a still water with it.
Yeah.
You don't want to have like necessarily pizza with like a still water with it. Like you like just like things change as you're just like, well, I'm just going to be drinking water.
Yeah.
And then the amount of sugar that I drank was insane. Like I haven't found anyone who's been even comparable to be like I would drink like I'd say like 10 liters of Coke in like a couple of hours.
I remember you like
I drink so much.
You used to clear through like the 2 liter bottles when we were at uni.
That's a glass.
And that's while you were in like fitness stage.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's just like I have a big thirst, so I just drink a lot.
That's what they call me.
They call me Big T.
They call me the big thirst.
Yeah. I don't even know why that is because I don't like sweat. I think I just hydrate.
Yeah.
I just got into the habit of hydrating when I was taking those thermogenics that were cooking me from the inside.
Yeah.
Like, put out the fire.
Yeah. I need to. I don't want to bake. I want to be steamed.
Yeah. I took diuretics as well, which just get rid of all the water in your system. That was before I went to the desert, and I was like, that's a good idea.
That's why.
Yeah. Well, I was shredding. I was getting 6-pack abs.
Right. So, but
I did get kind of.
Isn't that
really.
something that like fighters do? Because you just drop all the fluid in your body.
Yeah, and it saves on the weight stuff.
Yeah,
but really,
you don't lose fat.
Well, it's water. They call it water weight.
Yeah,
you have water
I suppose
stored
you
in
dehydrate your fat cells.
Basic, I guess. Yeah, that probably makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do lose inches just
Yeah.
because of stored water weight. So coming up to a photo shoot or something, you'd be like, oh, quick, you take a week of diuretics and and saunas and stuff. And then, you go out and take a photo. That's what they do with films. Like all the topless scenes are done at like the beginning of the film series so that like you come into it fucked. And they take loads of video of like you in your best. And then, okay, he's got his shirt on for the rest of it so we can take our time. Can't do that kind of stuff. But yeah, I drink so much. I don't know whether it's just from... I got used to it in training. So I was like, yeah, you're meant to drink, I don't know, 8 litres of water a day. Can't remember what the number is. Is it 8 glasses of water a day?
8 glasses. It's
probably
the
like
thing
4
is,
litres. Oh, Christ. Fucking hell. The way you looked, I thought there was a dog. And I was like, what the fuck? How did my dog get here?
No, you suddenly went white. All the blue's gone.
Flashed. There's no more blue. Do we need to fix the blue? Should we stay white?
I think
White is
let's
right.
leave it in.
Let's leave it in. We can always put a Hitler speech over it, can't we? I mean, why not?
What colour is Hitler?
He'd want to be white, I think, if he had a choice.
Yeah. Or blonde.
Yeah, or blue. Just any amalgamation of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know whether I got it from training. I learned to just drink loads of water, and that like when you're hungry, most of the time you're actually thirsty.
Yeah.
So I got into the habit of just drinking fuck tons.
Yeah.
And then I started doing it with sugar, and just the amount of money and sugar, the money I'm saving and the sugar that I'm not ingesting, is just like it's changed. It rebalances me into a vaguely normal person. Where I started growling at kids again today.
That's good.
You know, like school kids.
Yeah.
They're fucking
annoying
rats.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've been around enough of them. You know, see the odd one walking down the street, you're like, oh, I remember those exist.
Yeah.
But like, I think we started early today, and like, went past the school coming out.
Yeah.
And there was just like 300 kids. Just like, just talking to each other and doing all this kind of stuff, and like
horrific.
Trying to chat to the people in the shops. It's like,
Yeah.
Shut up, fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm old. Leave me alone. I'm older than you, so I'm better. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I want to get my ham salad sandwich.
We have that here. Like I didn't. I was living in a kind of weird hazy bliss where kids didn't exist until I lost my job. And then I realized they do exist. They just exist in the times when I'm not here.
Yeah.
So, like, I'd be out of the house before they leave for school. I'd be back home after they got home.
Yeah.
So, like, but now, like, there's periods of the day where they walk up and down the road. And we've got a school, like, a minute round the corner.
Yeah.
So, like, the whole estate becomes a fucking car park for, like, for like 2 hours every day when everyone's dropping people off.
Yeah, well, it's just that, I don't know, I don't want to be around them. I like kids, but like kids with kids is kind of annoying. if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think it's because they spend a lot of time trying to impress each other, which makes sense. Like it's how you kind of establish yourself socially. But you're looking on, being like, "That's not impressive."
All of this is useless.
Yeah.
But even that, doing the kind of stuff that I would do, like, you know, I used to, when I was younger, when I was like 14, 15 onwards, it was my thing to kind of chat to adults like adults to get beer and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I'd start forming relationships with something. And I went into a Wright's, which is that's just like a Stokey West Midlandsy thing, isn't it?
Wright's
Pies. Is that
Yeah.
Stoke only?
Yeah, Wright's Pies, for anyone who's around here, is like Greg's, but it's just kind of
Stoke.
local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently they've got these all over the country, like local versions of Greg's.
Yeah.
That it's like slightly different. And I went in there and I ordered a baguette, and she looked at me like I was scum. I was like, well, I can have it in any kind of bread. She said, well, it's your choice. Have you got a baguette? Yeah. I'll have a baguette then.
Well,
She just really upsettingly made me a ham baguette. So I haven't had a ham baguette in a long time. I thought I'd Meanwhile, there's like 14-year-olds being like, Susan, I mean, you know, the weather's been crazy, hasn't it? It's like, shut the fuck up, Aaron.
Oh, Aaron. Like, Aaron, there was... I've never met an Aaron that wasn't a fucking twat.
Aaron Paul. I haven't met him, I guess.
I haven't met him. Okay, I've never met or known
Dance, bitch!
of... I love that.
Yeah.
I've never known of an Aaron in England
Right.
that isn't an asshole. I think I just grew up with a lot of Aarons. I think it must have been a popular name at some point when I was younger.
It's
They
one of
were
the
always
earliest one in
younger
the name
than
book,
me,
isn't it?
but by just enough to be fucking irritating.
3 months and 7 days.
Like, they're just...
Prick.
Not the fact that they were younger, but they were at that age that meant that any time I encountered them, they were always annoying to me.
You're was it? You're bringing down my groove.
Yeah.
Get away from me! You're ruining my image.
Yeah.
Fucking kids.
Yeah. There was an Aaron when I was a kid that threw a rock at my dad's car. I don't
Cheers,
know why
Aaron.
I remember that. And then my dad got out and he ran off, and then my dad chased him down the street. And I was still in the car, like, Dad, it's not worth it, Dad. It's just a metro.
I'll throw rocks at their cars or something. That is it's a weird, important rite of passage. I think it's
Being an Aaron.
Yeah, just starting a fight with an adult.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a mistake on every level, but you just don't know.
Yeah.
I was that person for a lot of people when I was a kid because I was like big, so everyone would like stop. Everyone picks fights with the big kids. Yeah. If you lose, you lost to a big kid, but if you win, you defeat
The glory.
Goliath.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people would just pick fights with me, and I wasn't a violent person, but I was just stronger than they thought I was.
Yeah.
So I would just kind of just hold them down, just hold them against the wall and be like, you shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
I did the Arnold Schwarzenegger being drop kicked in the back. I hope you've learned. I hope you've learned everything, and now you move on.
Yeah.
And that's it. But a friend was telling me that there was these kids like coming around and like riding bikes in someone's front garden's grass and ruining it. And the guy came out and he's like, I don't know, 50, my build, and was just like, don't do it again. And so they started fights with him. And he's like, even if the guy wasn't big, just an adult can punch you harder than you realize.
Yeah.
Just life experience.
Yeah.
Of just like, even like the most scrawniest person, like they'll punch you like more effectively.
Plus,
than your friends punch you.
You're well structured. They're heavier than you.
Yeah.
Like, they can put more weight behind it. And I think kids don't get this idea that like strong muscles doesn't necessarily mean big muscles.
Mm.
I don't think they put that together. But like,
But
you
just
can
technique of just like they've probably punched more things because they've been around for longer.
Do you know how many kids I've punched?
Well, you need to have that level of you need to be humbled as a kid a few times.
100%. Yeah.
And like I remember I got well, I was a very shy kid, and then I started doing drama, and I started getting very confident because I was getting a lot of praise for drama. I think partly because the teacher knew that I needed some kind of support. She's like, doing really good playing that rapist.
Help this kid, please. He keeps going on about bugles.
Yeah. So like they built me up quite high, and then I was obviously way too high, and then we became a mixed school at 16.
Yeah.
Like semi-mixed, as in there was some women there.
Yeah.
And so we did drama together, and I think I pulled the chair like in a stupid schoolboy prank of we were doing like musical chairs, and there was this one girl, and I decided to pull the chair away from her as she sat down.
Yeah.
And just like the amount of hatred, I was just like, wow, that was a mistake. Nobody found that funny, and like they're like really embarrassed for her, and I'm a twat. Okay, right, fair enough. And there was just that humbly like, okay, cool, no, humbled. And then, so everyone needs it in loads of different ways.
Yeah.
Had it in fights as well, whatever.
Yeah, I've not really been in a fight.
Yeah.
I was always just like the middleman, just being like, come on, guys. Like
let's throw rocks at my dad's car.
Yeah.
I got in a fight, but the fight I got into, I guess, I got a few fights.
I've been threatened and shit, but I've never actually. Yeah, I've never
gone to the fight. I'll see you around back at 4. Okay.
All right.
I'm going home.
Well, I'm meeting my dad at 3:30.
Yeah, and he's got a car made of rocks.
I mean, we live a few miles away. I can come back.
That's Thursday.
Yeah, but he's made dinner. And...
Yeah, I had one of those. That was, I can't remember what I told on the podcast. I think I briefly did. I'd said it in a I think it was like a school. It was with the class, and we're doing some kind of performance activity, just as like a form, which is like a class of.
Yeah.
How would you describe
we
a
had
form?
forms.
Yeah.
So a form is like
your main
it's
class.
your team.
Yeah, every day you register with your form.
Yeah, it's like
class.
you go into the Olympics.
You got England.
You play for England.
Yeah.
But you compete individually.
Yeah. So you would go to chemistry, but you'd always sign in and sign out with your main team.
Yeah.
Which was your year's subdivision of 7F or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was some kind of performance activity with that, and there was this guy who was we were always rivals. I had no idea why. I think
was he tall?
Yeah.
Right. Maybe.
I think he got like picked on a little bit.
Goliath versus Goliath.
Yeah. He got picked on a little bit because he had kind of a unibrow, and then I think he started picking on me a little bit because he was making fat jokes.
Okay.
And I was never that bothered by that.
Yeah.
So I was just like, so then it became like, well, look, back and forth and that. And then we did some kind of performance activity where I did some kind of sketch with a friend, and I said that the guy doesn't sings as badly as I think Natalie Imbruglia, current, amazing stand-up.
Yeah.
From a young age. And the
are.
guy was like, "You said my name. Let's fight." And I was like, "All right, let's fight then." So we'd fight after school.
To be honest, I think Natalie Imbruglia is fine.
Guy's an incredible fan. Natalie. Was it that? Who's that? Who's that? Butterflies. I can't remember. Was that some butterfly song? Can't remember.
Was it a woman?
Yeah, it was a woman. It wasn't the weird topless guys.
Oh.
It was some woman. I think it might have been Natalie Imbruglia. It was someone like that. Anyway, and he challenged me to a fight, and I was like, "Yeah, right, then let's fight." And then it was like that was on the Monday. It was like the Friday.
Yeah.
So like all throughout the week was just like hype. The whole school turned out.
Selling tickets.
And I was like really, I'd done like martial arts and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I'm just a gentle guy.
Yeah.
So like when it came to fighting, I was sparring with him and he was just punching me in the face. So I was like properly pulling punches and kicks, as in pulling them, as in like getting to hit him and then pop. Like, so he just gets a little graze.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is what fighting. So I don't want to hurt anybody. But he's like, yeah, he's just laying into my face. I'm just like, I was fine. I've never really been that averse to that kind of being punched in the face.
Yeah.
It's never really phased me. Like, most people that get deer in the headlights, they get freaked. I'm just like, I just hear the sounds of donk, 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 donk. It's like, oh, no, I like this song.
It's like being in a pinball machine.
And so, then after a while, I was just like, should we stop? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then people are like, yeah, you should just go. All right. Fair play.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah. And then, I think, apparently I won a load of respect because I stood up to him. I stood next to him and got punched in the face. They're like, oh yeah, but he was like the biggest bully in school or something. And then the fact that I showed no fear, people were like, oh no, yeah, he got respected for that.
The big guys in our school were all like gentle giants.
Yeah.
Like
the thing is nothing to prove.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you think you're going to teach somebody by punching them in the face?
Yeah.
Like, I guess sometimes you might, I can understand how in some extreme circumstances, you need to establish physical boundaries with somebody. Like if somebody keeps on, I don't know, touching your face and you've asked them enough times, you're going to have to be
please, just stop this.
Stop. Yeah, leave my face alone. Like, I can understand that you might need to do that to push a point, but like in terms of like someone else, I can. But now I constantly think about killing people, so I don't know where the balance is.
Well, it's whether you would. Probably.
Yeah, but there's that that feeling. It's like a cold can of lilt in the fridge of Rites. Oh, that looks so nutritious, so
Lilt,
refreshing.
I like.
I used to like it.
Yeah.
And then it changed.
Oh,
and
they
now I think
changed
I
it.
liked it again. I can't remember.
The exception I had to not caring about fizzy drinks was apple tango when I was a kid. Fucking loved apple tango. Don't know why.
Oh, just anything. Cherry Coke at the moment is the most sugary thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh. Yeah. But it just fizzy drinks, just cold. And then you go, okay, what about losing all fizzy drinks? Because now I know that I can't have anything other than water, because then everything will collapse.
Yeah. So you
And it's
can't
not
have
like
cordial.
everything will collapse. I just go like, yeah, it's just like, well, if I'm going to do it, I'll just do it completely.
Yeah.
And I used to think that was like a crutch. We talked about how like it's either all or nothing. And the problem with that is it's very easy to fuck up, and then it's an easy excuse to then return to previous behavior.
Yeah.
That was like a version of perfectionism. Either it's perfect or fuck it.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to think it's just like, no, it's just an easy excuse that, yeah, I think there is that
Yeah.
method of thinking.
But
there's definitely value in my way of thinking of like, just the way that I'm wired. If I'm doing it all the way, I'll take it more seriously.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. Like, I feel like my health is a constant kind of hierarchical kind of balance, and if anything falls out of place, the whole thing kind of collapses. Whether that's your diet or your exercise or anything. And if it's, I think it's because like, well, if one thing falls apart, it's like, well, you then go, well, what's the point in doing this?
Yeah,
because I'm not doing that right now, and. It's the basic rule of thumb I've come with is if something lapses, it can only lapse for a day. If it lapses for 2 days, generally it'll fall apart for until I'm like man enough to take responsibility for it again.
Yeah. The thing is, you're just trying to teach yourself some discipline,
Yeah.
and only drinking water is very easy, because if you are thirsty and you don't want water, if you just drink a lot of water, that thirst tends to go away. You just got to be in the habit of just saying no to things. So like I've tried to keep everything else kind of healthy wise, but the main thing has been like, well, the water.
Yeah.
I tried it before, and I tried cutting everything out, and my energy levels just crashed.
Yeah.
They seem all right at the moment, but that's because I'm kind of supplementing. Well, I'll have somewhat sugary foods, but I'll just keep having the still water.
Yeah.
Just have like a sandwich to keep the blood sugar high or whatever. And it's like, yeah, so long as the water's fine, then that's under control.
Yeah.
But then you go, if I just had one glass of wine or a fizzy drink, I think everything would just go.
Yeah.
Just get exploded. So yeah, I've been stuck on water. Fight. Yeah, we had the weird fight. Sorry, I think there's a bit more to the fight story.
Right.
About getting punched in the face. I think that, yeah, after that, I went home. I think I came back the next Monday, and I wasn't bruised or anything.
Yeah.
And they was like, oh, how aren't you injured? It's like, I just don't injure very well. So then he was like, oh, we'll have another fight.
Good at it.
We'll have another fight this Friday. It's like, all right, mate, I'm not going to fight you this Friday, because I can't be asked, and I'm obviously not wanting to fight you.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, just kind of like a fight came along, and then, yeah, he met me outside where I walked, and then we just kind of, me and my mate just walked home. It's like, whatever, we never agreed to this. So some guy, his friend just stepped in, like, I'll fight you.
Yeah.
But you're my friend. It's like, yeah, but people want to fight, let's have a fight. He got his arm broken. Still on Google, I think. If you Google my name, I think that's still, well, probably not anymore because of the podcast.
Yeah.
But you used to be able to Google that, and you'd get the guy's blog about that event.
Really?
Which I thought was weird. He went home and blogged. He's like, I stepped up and I fought my friend. All right. But yeah, people liked it because like, yeah, he stood up to a bully. It's like, well, it's easy to stand up to people. It's just harder to get punched in the face.
Yeah.
But yeah, just didn't really care. But yeah, stupid kids around. Stepped out and the fucking loads of school kids around.
Yeah.
It's kind of my day, really. Yeah. So you messaged me earlier in the week.
Yeah.
Notifying me of the Arnold Schwarzenegger experience.
Yes. Yes.
Which is like an event that Arnold Schwarzenegger, that this company's doing to have a talk, to present a talk by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And it looks all right, to be fair. It looks very political, fundraisery.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like, I don't
It's like
necessarily.
it's one of those evenings where it's like a load of tables. You can buy a table or
Yeah, it's like
all that
White
shit.
House Correspondence Dinner.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
You have a
but
three-course
with
meal.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, it's like it would be interesting,
Yeah,
but like the packages went from like 130 quid
yeah,
to £1,000,
yeah,
and it was just like, well, you really go like, it's that whole thing of like, yes, technically it would be great to meet the guy and shake his hand, but it'd be not.
I want to meet him while I'm saving lives, not at a convention.
just in a weird, just in a weird context of like, okay, next,
Yeah,
good to meet you.
yeah,
Next,
yeah. No, you
this
want
is the
to.
greatest moment of my life.
You want to meet him like
Next.
like.
I think ideal meeting of any celebrity. I think Louis C.K. I thought would be the best way to meet Louis C.K.
Yeah,
Is be like, oh, it would just be to him be in the same elevator that I'm in,
Yeah.
and I just pretend that I don't know him and have a conversation.
yeah,
As in, just like, yeah, just have a natural conversation with him without bringing up the fact that he's Louis C.K.
yeah,
And maybe at the end being like, I'm a big fan.
yeah.
Keep doing what you do, and then just walk away. So that's all
Yeah.
I want, really. Is just to have a little moment with heroes, I guess.
Yeah, you kind of want a hero moment, like, or to have a moment in front of them that sort of puts you on the same level as them, or in a
Yeah.
way, like Eddie Hall did that
Yeah,
when he
I was
met
going
Arnie.
to bring that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can bring it up if you want.
That was the flow of the conversation was
Right.
going. Yeah, he did a documentary about becoming, I think, going again for World's Strongest Man.
Yeah, yeah,
And during the deadlift for it, which he was struggling with, Arnold just like came out of the shadows.
yeah,
I was like, "Come on, do it!" And he was like, "Fucking hell!"
yeah. And he'd always wanted to meet him, like it was one of his goals, and
Yeah.
he met him while breaking a world record. It's like, yeah,
Just like, yeah, just Schwarzenegger pushing him over the edge.
yeah,
Have you ever had that? I've never really understood that. Like that motivation, like, you know, say, like peer pressure, not peer pressure, but the crowd support of something. Like, say I'm trying to think of an example. What's been situations where you're doing something in front of a group of people and they start like trying to encourage, like in the gym or
to
something.
cheer you on or something. Yeah,
Yeah, and they start and like, no, it's just not working.
it's just sports.
Yeah, I guess,
Any
yeah.
sports
Yeah.
like is like that, but like, yeah, I mean, like,
There'd probably be moments that would spur me on. Like I've always thought that.
but I don't know if that would be so much an adrenaline thing as like, now I have the energy, or is it if it's just a guilt thing of like, well, I can't let all these people down.
Yeah, maybe.
Like that's I suppose that's a pessimistic way of looking at it, but I don't know how that would help me,
I've always
like
thought
physically.
that if I was in a true love relationship and that person said to me, like, go kill that person, I'd be so much more motivated to do it. Like, it would, the weird thing of, like, being, like, told, like, okay, no, yeah, you have my blessing to murder this person.
To kill a guy.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, thanks.
I've been waiting for Steve to say that for years.
yeah. Yeah, but just like, you know what I mean? Like I mean, I can't, again, we've talked about this podcast for so long now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were having an argument with somebody, and I was like, well, do you mind if I intervene
Yes.
and like give them like loads of hatred?
Yes.
And you were like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, thanks. Now that, I think it's partly because you do not understand the ramifications of what you've just said.
Yeah.
But I've got your like written consent.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, Steve said it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Like,
Unleash everything. I didn't expect you to actually kill that guy. So, hey, you said. I mean, I can always just blame you in court.
yeah. I said, can I kill that guy?
Yeah, you said yes.
Yes.
End of argument. So yeah, but yes, yeah, I think there's certainly aspects of there's certainly things that you could see that would motivate you to do something more.
Yeah.
Everything's coming back to murdering people today. But like I've always said that like if I saw somebody say punch my brother or punch you, for example,
Yeah.
I don't know what would happen, but I'd be very motivated to murder. You know,
Yeah.
just be like, I know that I'd be more energized by that.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just motivated by murder.
Yeah.
Give me a reason to murder, and I'll do anything.
Nobody punches Steve but me.
And it's, I think, part of the story as well. Yeah, someone punched me the other day, and Nick, you know, took off his legs and put them where his arms were. That seems extreme. Yeah, he's in prison now.
Yeah.
He just went to the police station and confessed because he was laughing so much. Can't believe I did it. We've been talking about it for years. So yeah, I imagine that Eddie Hall was extra motivated by seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
But I imagine that I would have been like, dude,
Yeah, just drop the bar.
How's it going? But yeah, there'd be a weird moment of motivation, I guess, that works. So yeah, you do want to meet your heroes in not as sanitized conditions. There are some people that I'd meet like that. I accidentally met Graham Norton at something like that because it was like a book signing. And we were just in the shopping centre. We're like,
right.
Graham Norton's going to be here in half hour. You want to say hello? Sure. Are you fans of him? Not really. Just he's here.
I think it'd be much easier to meet someone you're not really bothered about meeting.
Yeah.
Because you can have a much more kind of casual conversational approach with that.
Yeah. Someone like Taylor Swift. You'd be like, I don't care if I meet you.
Yeah. Even someone that's like a massive deal to someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh yeah, that just happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's certain people. But I just want to have a conversation or just a moment with somebody, rather than that kind of stuff. So I wasn't really sure about doing because I was tempted. I was like, oh, it could be quite a cool idea.
Yeah.
And then it's like a 3-course meal, just sat around people who say they like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I doubt they like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the way that I do. Because I'm not sure whether 150 to $1,000 is a price of like the guy who likes Commando a lot.
But but then what if you paid like top dollar and then you met the one woman who loves Arnold Schwarzenegger and came on her own and is like, no one here likes Arnold Schwarzenegger as much as I do.
We're both in costume. Just, we see each other and we just kill everybody in the room.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened in Predator.
Yeah, like Mr. and Mrs.
fall in love with
Snip.
someone in a Predator costume. Our eyes meet. Nuclear weapon goes off. Everything happens. But the description of the whole event sounded quite weird. I think I sent you some of them. So what to expect? An exclusive live on-stage interview with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assumed.
Yeah.
If he's not there, this isn't a great Arnold Schwarzenegger experience.
Yeah. Should fucking hope he's there.
A high-quality 3-course dinner. Okay.
It's not going to be high quality if you're feeding 1,000 people, is it?
And even then, you go
like
Arnold.
Jesus only managed bread and fish.
Yeah. And you got, but 3-course meal is a bit high carb intake for somebody who's so healthy and nutritionally aware. I'm not sure Arnold would approve of this. The Terminator theme will be played at both events. Oh, that's good. 300 quid, grand. Yeah.
I can play it at home.
I want the Terminator theme.
Yeah.
If it's not there, I'm rioting. Because it's celebrating, and that's the other thing. It's not like celebrating Schwarzenegger. It's celebrating the Terminator.
Yeah.
Because the film came out 35 years ago, and they're promoting the new one. So it's really a film con for that film, which again, it's a great film, great franchise that I'm a fan of. It would be still good to see, but it wasn't Schwarzenegger. Amazing life-size Schwarzenegger film prop. Oh, so as well as Schwarzenegger, you've got models of Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, you got fake Schwarzenegger.
And oh no, there's also a Schwarzenegger impersonator.
Why?
So as well as Schwarzenegger, you've got models of Schwarzenegger and people who sound like Schwarzenegger. Which all implies to me that Schwarzenegger's not going to be there for very long.
Yeah.
Like his talk, say it's a 3-hour evening.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe it's more, but say it's 3 hours. I imagine he'll be on stage for half an hour. And then it'll be like an hour to walk around and then half an hour of the entertainment guy.
Yeah.
So he'll just be like, hi, how's it going?
Yeah.
Bye.
So if you're a guy that does an impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger, if that's your thing, how are you supporting Arnold Schwarzenegger? Like, you're going to do him for half an hour and then he's going to come on and properly do it for however long.
We'll do it with like comedy bits, I guess. And wouldn't it be weird if Arnie did this? Yeah,
sure.
Arnold's just
back
to the
there?
side of him.
Yeah.
Would you do this? No. Somebody drop kick him.
I will do it.
There's also an exact replica of the Predator actor in costume.
What? Oh, as in
exact
the
replica.
Predator.
Okay, there's someone
dressed as
acting,
Predator.
with Predator in
There
the
she
Predator
is.
costume. Okay, yeah. And there's also, and my favourite part, a breathtaking Schwarzenegger stage entrance. He's gonna come on stage, so Arnold Schwarzenegger that they won't be able to breathe. £1,000.
It's totally worth it. This is totally worth it.
Let's put it this way: if it was 30 quid, I'd be well up for it.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's like 100, and I mean like 30 quid for like the top tier, would be great. But it's just like, the fact that and like he's talking about loads of stuff, because it'd be interesting to hear Arnold Schwarzenegger talk. And I am interested in probably everything that he's done. I'm not into politics at all, but his view on and the things he did with politics was quite interesting.
Yeah.
He was just all about just like healthy, make kids healthy.
Yeah.
Give them more exercise, give them more focus, help them out more. It's a very Terminator way of just come with me if you want to learn. Kids, all these opportunities and stuff, and he's just like, but like against political opponents, I don't care any of that kind of stuff. So just it would have been interesting to attempt to go, but just not. It just felt too clinical and too it felt like a political fundraiser more than anything. I think so. If I was to meet him, I guess I'd probably rather meet him at an Arnold event. He'd be like, hey, everything's Arnold. Strong person over there.
I mean, I think you could go to like the Arnold Classic or something. You can do that as a spectator.
Well, I think there's all these, because there's a load of these at the moment for. I'm assuming there's some kind of big charity drive, because there was a load of the. I think like John Oliver was selling. They do. There's like, I can't remember what they're called, but special kind of auctions where you purchase the opportunity to be on something, doing something.
Okay.
So Schwarzenegger did something a little while ago where you can drive around in my tank.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, okay. And he was like auctioning it off for something. And John Oliver's doing something similar. So I think there's a whole bunch of these things going on.
Yeah.
But it'd be weird to do. I think it'd be more interesting to find him in a more interesting situation. But he's getting old. I'm getting more diabetic. Is it going to work? Who knows?
Yeah.
But it was interesting. I like that he's doing it.
Yeah. It was Birmingham, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Probably with Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
Just this briefly, because I found it funny that Smash Mouth tweeted it. Because I didn't know Smash Mouth was still a relevant thing.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know they had a Twitter.
They did All Star. They did, I think, another song. I think they did
only
a theme
one I
to
know.
something. I think they were in Shrek.
Yeah, that was
Song.
that
Was that
was
All-Star?
that was All Star.
I think they did a few in Shrek.
Right.
I think they did like a cover of a Beatles song or something, cover of a famous song.
Okay.
And they were like, this is their tweet, and I just want to talk about it briefly. Straight Pride Parade, fuck off. Because there's an argument, there's now petitioned in America to have a straight Pride Parade.
Okay.
As well as a gay Pride Parade. They want a straight Pride Parade, and everybody. Twitter is getting
Twitter
in
and
their
therefore the world.
Yeah. Just people just having this argument about like why you shouldn't have a straight pride or why you should have a straight pride. And it's just, and they're saying like, that whole same thing of like straight pride is every day. Gay pride is like,
I hate
it's man's world. It's a white world. It's a straight world.
I'll
whatever
start
it is.
this by saying, I don't care. Like, I don't care if people do or don't have a straight pride. Like, whatever. It, for some reason, it does feel a bit silly.
Oh, Smash Mouth.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they're at the forefront.
But
led by Smash Mouth.
I would be inclined to go just because it's pissing these people off, which is a bad position to be in.
Pride.
Yeah,
I'm so proud that I pissed you off.
Yeah, it's because I just find it so stupid that people get worked up about this stuff.
Yeah,
it's like, if you don't want to support it, don't go.
What's the thing? It's just all the.
But please don't try and make it out to be like racist or fascist or like whatever, because that's absolute nonsense.
Well, it's all saying like, oh, straight people have never.
Only
suffered.
we get to feel special.
Yeah, and it was all like, you can't have a straight pride because marriage has never been illegal. You've always been able to hold hands. All these things, which are valid, that is beneficial for those people to have it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they can't be proud of being straight. You can be proud of being a cannibal.
Yeah, it's not like.
Be proud, cannibals. The UK.
I think it would be controversial because of the kind of people that would get involved if you had like white pride.
Yeah.
I think there's too much stigma now around like the KKK and stuff for people to be like, well, you've got a black pride, why can't we have a white pride? It's like, because you know that that's going to attract the wrong kind of people.
Yeah, the only thing that I think...
But I don't see that about straight. Like, I don't...
The only argument that I can see is that the gay pride was something to be done in defiance of others.
Right.
Because there was somebody who said, probably, you still get like...
I don't mean... That's the thing. Like,
church, and you probably still get protesters at Pride.
Yeah,
parades.
I don't mean there's no...
it's less stigmatized.
Yes. Yeah, it's more mainstream now.
Yeah. But you could, but it probably is more mainstream because they were like more in defiance about stuff going on. So there was somebody who said, if you're going to have a straight pride parade, then we have to do it properly, and you need to have all the anti-straight pride people having like, straight people being hung, like carrying it in protest. You need to have the proper anti-protest.
But
that makes sense.
So...
In a jokey way.
Okay, right.
In a jokey way. If you're going to have a pride parade, then you need to have people who think that it's the sin. It's sinful. Okay. And the church will denounce you. And they say you're going to burn in hell.
Oh, right. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's not just about parading around. It's about doing it in the face of people who actively and openly wish you harm.
Right.
And doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So you're saying that. So I can kind of understand how you could be like, who's going to come out against straight people?
Yeah.
Because you go like, well, it's less of a controversial thing to be straight.
Gay people, apparently.
Yeah, well, just social justice people.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, they probably won't do it with the same vitriol.
No.
You just go like, well, it's again, I think it's the transparentness of, this is obviously something to try and cause controversy.
Yeah.
And you're rising to the controversy. And because nobody really cares about whether there's a straight pride or not.
Yeah.
You're making it bigger than what it actually is, because he's intentionally trying to wind you up, and you're being wound up.
Yeah.
So just, get over it.
Yeah.
Just be like, this guy's obviously doing it for attention. So just, who cares?
Yeah.
If it turn it into something beneficial. Turn into, supporting some stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, no, there can be no straight pride. All straight people shouldn't be proud, or there shouldn't be a march for straight people. Or all these weird things.
But it's just, why do you care?
I think, what year is it? 2019?
Yeah.
I think we're in like draft 3.
Hello? Yeah, you have to say that before you say what year it is. Hello, it's 2019.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello? Is this thing on? 2019. I think we're in like draft 3 of society.
2019.
Of just society. Like, it just feels like everyone who's been like protesting.
Okay, we fucked up. Turn it around. Let's try this again.
Not even that. It's like, okay, like first draft was just people. Fuck apples. Apples fucked everything up.
Yeah.
Someone ate an apple. Now they're fucked.
Yeah.
Fuck. So all right, well, this will remove some of the apples.
Yeah.
Do something a little bit different, and then I don't know, Adolf Hitler or something. Oh fuck. We made too many blonde people. Fine.
Yeah.
Fucking spread them out, move them around. Then we got to this point where I think draft 3, you're like, it's kind of feels like it's done structurally.
Yeah.
All the things are there, but it's just shit. You know what I mean? You're writing an essay, you're writing a review, you're making a video, and you're like, technically everything should work.
Yeah.
But just everyone's a cunt. Like, you've got, you've got free healthcare, all the good things, because technically the systems are there for everything, pretty much. The only thing I don't think there is reparations, which is like a different conversation. That's the only thing I can think of where you go, like, that needs to be in society. Everything else, you'd be like, if you're bleeding, you can go somewhere and stop bleeding. Yeah. And they'll treat you for sickness. And they'll give you an education. Yeah. And they'll give you a job. And they'll give you benefits. And they'll do, all these different things where you have a chance to do everything right. But it's just people are just the last problem. He's got the last thing to kind of flick over that switch. Yeah. And it's just like, draft 3, everything should work, but it's just not for some reason. You just have to look deeper into it and figure it out.
Well, it's because no one, I think just no one looks...
Straight pride parade! Fuck off!
No one looks hard enough at what they're at what they're saying, or what they're doing. They don't see the hypocrisy in their own arguments and anything like that. Like, I saw a fucking article from The Independent, so of course it's fucking stupid. I saw an article from The Independent earlier on that said like the Trump baby's been stabbed. You know, like the giant like inflate. They got stabbed and deflated, and it opened up with like, well, it's so obviously it's so like the alt-right to resort to violence in the face of protests, and I'm just like, hang on, they burst a balloon because they were sick of the protesters. Last week or over the past month, you've been championing people physically assaulting people with milkshakes on your side of the wall. But
even then,
but you don't see that as violence. Yeah. And there's that kind of shit on all sides. And it's just like, if everybody was just a bit more kind of self-analytical, a lot of these issues would go away. Because we used to be able to talk to each other. People who, like, you used to be able to get people, this person votes Labour and this person votes Tory. And they could live next door to each other and have conversations. And now they're fucking putting up signs and, like, hitting each other. And it's just, this is ridiculous.
I saw a clip from one of Charlie Brooker's early, like, television wipes or whatever.
Yeah.
Where he's talking about the toxicity of like, reality TV shows and Kim Kardashians and all that kind of stuff, giving warped images to children.
Yeah.
And the point was, you've become so security conscious and paranoid about abductions and that you lock your children inside to keep them away from all these sickness and everything like that, which means that they can only sit down and watch this evil television shows, which is fucking up their heads with all these weird ideas. And it was something like this: the new generation Y, Z, or whatever, are a bunch of twats, and it's just because they've just been brainwashed.
Yeah,
because they've been. I think there's an element to that where there's an element to that where language has changed. George Carlin was famous for saying that, you know, shell shock went from being called shell shock to post-traumatic stress disorder, to detach yourself from the reality of how horrific it actually is, just to sanitize it. And I think you get that all with loads of different things, and now the world's just a very confusing place. But everything's really simple, but it's very easy to get confused by everything. Yeah, you see clickbait and you think it's real. It's like, no, it's just clickbait. It's like, can you just read the article and see what it says? Oh, okay, that's what the article says. Oh, okay, hang on, you shouldn't trust all journalists anyway. You shouldn't trust anybody anyway. You know, you should trust must be earned, not just I'm the prime minister, so therefore you trust me. But no, it's just everyone's going about their lives, but they need to have that element of control.
Well, that's a weird thing.
I know what's right and wrong.
It's a strange thing that I find as well, is that no one's willing to accept results anymore. Like it used to be a thing of like, well, you cast your vote, and whoever wins, fair game. Like fair enough. It's not the guy I voted for, but fine. But we wish him well. Yeah. Now it's like, oh, the guy I didn't want, like, lost. So that means we're all going to fucking hell. I'm not listening to this guy. Everyone on that side of the table is evil, and it's like, it's so fucking divisive, and it's just like, and it just carries on the bullshit for like far longer than it needs to. Yeah. Like normally things can get a little bit aggressive on like campaign trails and stuff, but within like a month, after the result, everyone's back to normal. We're all doing our jobs and everything like that. But now, like, it's like a lifetime kind of like stream of utter bullshit that you can't get away from. It's like, I have to be like divisive and aggressive for the next 5 years.
But that's what it's meant. I think that the reason that people are fueled like that is because they think that the other person is fueled like that, so they're going in it aggressively because they don't want to be defensive. The amount of arguments that people have come to me with really aggressively because I might have a in quotes controversial view on a topic,
realistic,
and they'll be like, yeah, but this and this and this, and be like, yeah, but you know, it doesn't. What about this? And they go, yeah, but I've got more energy. Like, okay, but you know, it's just this one point. Can we talk about that one point? No. So they expect me to be really aggressive and macho or whatever about something. And I think it's really calm about it. And then they kind of realize that the whole thing's been an emotional roller coaster rather than an intellectual conversation.
Yeah. Well, I got that way. Like, I think my breaking point was the whole Brexit shit. And how long ago was that? Was that like 3 years?
Within 3 years,
3 years, 4 years, maybe two, something like that.
It's happened while the podcast has been going.
Yeah, and I over that period of time, I got so wrapped up in the social media side of it, and I got so like riled up that like to the point where at times I was feeling ill. I was just like, this at some point it broke, and I was just like, this is stupid. Like this, I never used to be this way.
Yeah.
Is there something more to it? And at that point onwards, I kind of had like just a proper watershed moment, and suddenly it was like seeing the Matrix. Like it's like suddenly you're like,
you just click. Like, I mean, I've had moments, and I think you've said you do the same thing, where you start replying to somebody, you type it all out, and you're being like, I now have worded my emotions about it.
yeah,
But this is totally not a productive place to put it.
Yeah.
So I'll just delete it and be like, just walk away.
yeah,
And it's
Yeah.
because it is baiting you into getting into an argument. And it is easy to get into that argument. But once you realise that it's just going to drive you crazy,
yeah,
you go like, this person is not fit for this discussion.
yeah,
Or I'm not fit to have this discussion right now. So I know what I think. I think I disagree with you. I don't think it's productive to disagree with you
Yeah.
publicly anymore. So,
Yeah.
hey, let's
I think
go to
in the
separate ways.
and in the past I've had friends that I think everyone's got that friend that always has to have the last word.
yeah.
Like always. And if you actually, and I was
That's
very
my favourite
much,
game in the world, by the way.
I-
It's finding someone who has to have the last word and just keep on having the last word. And it always turns into absolute nonsense because they're not thinking about what they're saying. They
Yeah.
just want to be the last person to say something.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, what about this? How's your mum? What? Why are you talking about this? I'm just curious. God, Tuesdays. Where
Yeah.
did Tuesday originate from? It's why are we still talking? Well, just because you keep on saying something.
Yeah.
I know that you want to be the last person. So,
yeah. So like I think everybody's had that friend, and the trouble with that is if you I found that spending too long talking to that person turns you into that person as well. And the one thing that I found set that type of person apart from everyone else I knew was that they were fucking miserable. Like most of the time, they were unhappy and outwardly negative about something.
Yeah.
And I don't know maybe if that's like a feedback loop that you get stuck in because you have to constantly be talking about something because you're the one that's got to like end the argument even though you're the one that fucking started it most of the time.
Yeah, there's a weird bubble you get into. I mean, the one I remember most of you that I've brought up a few times that I just always found funny was like when I was after uni I went down to London, I'd send you a message with like a video in it. And your response would always be like really defensive of the fact that you were already aware of that video.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I saw this like 6 months ago. Like, that's not the message.
Yeah. No,
but I think everyone goes through that phase where they're just like, yeah, I'm keyed in.
It was
like,
it was like a
it's
hipster phase where
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
I was almost I don't know if it's ashamed. Maybe not ashamed, but I think ashamed is the wrong word. But maybe
like more
maybe
wanted to be seen a certain way.
Yeah, maybe afraid in some way to seem like I lack in some departments. Maybe like maybe like the idea the idea that I didn't know this band or I didn't know that I hadn't seen this cool thing.
Yeah.
Like,
and it was like an early version of a meme. It was just like, oh, I just sent you this video.
Yeah,
And it's not because I just discovered it that day. It was like, it just came up in conversation. Like, oh yeah, that reminds me of this time with Steve.
Yeah.
Hey Steve, remember we did this? I've
Yeah.
seen that video. All right.
yeah, yeah.
And it wasn't a big thing, but I think it's important that everyone goes through those phases, as you
Yeah.
say, like
Yeah.
in terms of communication. You just learn to be like, yeah, I don't need to, just because one, that's implying that everybody's reading your Facebook replies.
Yeah,
Not like everyone's looking at my Facebook wall and they need to see that I'm in the know about stuff.
yeah,
It's just that you realize, oh no, it's just nobody gives a fuck.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just a joke between this conversation while in public.
yeah.
It's just between two people.
It's also
really.
like this could have been a fun conversation,
this conversation ender. Like, right.
and
yeah.
and now it's just it's you being a smarmy asshole.
Yeah. Well, not even that, but yeah, just that defensiveness about stuff. So
Yeah.
I think people do that in the same way to get the last word.
Yeah,
They'd be like, I have finished the conversation.
Mm.
Whereas I don't like it when people don't. I don't like passive aggression, and passive aggression is usually done by people who kind of say the last word, but they don't.
yeah,
It's like, okay, that's a weird place to finish that argument. But
Yeah.
should we finish this now? Well, do you want to finish now, or should we carry on?
yeah. Oh.
I don't know what you want.
Yeah.
Some people, that's just how they're wired. Anyway,
Yeah.
I think that came. Oh, Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
Straight pride parade. Hey, if you've got a reason to be happy, be proud of it.
All right.
Just celebrate it.
Yeah.
And if people hate you for it, you can talk about it, but yeah, don't be. I don't know. It's a weird thing to kind of cock block pride.
Yeah.
Because of your sexual preference. And it's just like, yeah, just let them have the pride parade. You know, it's not even like an act of charity. It's just like, yes, we've had a pride parade. It's done wonders for our community. Should we share it with another community? No, because that community is better than our community. Or they think they're better than our community. Or they're more socially acceptable than our community. Yeah, but could they still benefit? Maybe. Okay, so yeah, just do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Anyway, news articles at the 54-minute mark. I can't skip these again, so I'm going to go through these real quick. A company behind fundamentalist Christian theme park Hope is suing. I can't remember who they're suing, but they're suing somebody because Noah's Ark got flood damage. A multi-million dollar theme park, Ark Encounter, and fundamentalist Christianity park, whose centerpiece is a giant replica of Noah's Ark, is suing its insurance carriers over rain-related damage.
Well, if you trust a project that big to one bloke with no carpentry experience, what do you expect?
Just, I don't know, it's just the point where you go, that must have been an awkward conversation with the board of directors. Be like, well, Noah's Ark's been rained on.
The board of directors is probably called God. I'm going to see God.
Noah's Ark got rained on.
Yeah.
And is it the second coming of Noah? No, it's just damage.
Yeah.
It's just been poorly built. Who built it? Kevin.
Yeah.
What if it
Kevin
was built by Noah?
Jones.
Yeah. It's got loads of Noahs together to try and get them to fix it. No. The park is worth $120 million. Adult tickets are $50. And it was completed in 2016 with a zoo. Makes sense if there's a zoo with Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Zip lines. Very Christian, probably. And a restaurant in its 5-story high replica ark.
I remember
so it was all like inside the ark.
I remember this kicking off because they were religiously themed. They were trying to also say we're a church, so you can't tax us.
We're an ark.
Yeah. It's like, it's not a place of worship. It's a theme park. I don't care what the theme is. You're not a church.
Yeah, Bear Grylls. Can you stop trying to be a church, mate? Do unto others, Bear Grylls. Yes. It was the brainchild of Ken Ham and his ministry Answers in Genesis. What a fucking stupid name for a ministry. Hi, we're Answers in Genesis. Are you a band? No, we're a ministry. We've got an ark. Mr. Ham is a Christian fundamentalist and creationist who argues that the Bible is a historical narrative that is meant to be taken literally. I mean, they're kind of saying that this guy's stupid, but the guy built a fucking ark.
Yeah.
And it wasn't waterproof. So, like, give the guy some... Yeah, we kind of get the idea that he's got some kind of flawed beliefs.
Yeah.
He believes that dinosaurs lived alongside humans. Oh, but there's no dinosaurs mentioned in the Bible, to my knowledge.
No.
So he's added that in. And that the biblical flood created the Grand Canyon.
So he's a creationist.
Seems... Yeah.
Yeah.
A fundamentalist creationist, I think. The biblical flood created the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, that's what creationists believe. Like, the Grand Canyon was created by the flood, and they date it around the same time.
Why?
But I also, like, I thought...
It's that whole belief that there's people who believe that Jesus was in America.
Mormons.
Was it Mormons that believe that?
I think Mormons are like that,
there's
aren't they?
somebody who believes that, that he just grew up in, like, Manhattan.
Yeah. Jesus does Manhattan.
Yeah. And, like, all these things just happened in America. You're like, do you not think that's a little bit warped?
Yeah.
This was written at a time when nobody was in America. And, like, everybody was in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Sounds like it would be there. There's loads of other books depicting Jesus over there.
Yeah.
And you're just saying
and
it was in Florida.
Jesus isn't exactly an American kind of colonial name. It's more like Spanish.
Yeah, it's not like Jeff.
Yeah.
Is Jeff an American name?
Jeff Christ.
Yeah. Jeff's, I guess, kind of an English name, isn't it? What's an American name? Nathan.
Cole, Colt.
Yeah. Clint.
Chet. Chad.
All sounds, all names that sound like they're just the sound of the gun not firing as you're trying to give yourself an abortion. Well, I guess we'll call it Click. There's more of a cult sound. Oh, no, it's not dead. All right, well, I guess we're doing this.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom, abortion and guns.
Mr. Ham did not respond to a request for comment about the Ark getting damaged by the rain. Which you wouldn't, would you?
No.
Just be like, oh, just, no. But yeah, it's a fucking really rich place. Noah's Ark can't float.
Yeah, which is the
Fuck
one
that
thing you
place.
want from a boat, really.
Basically.
Yeah.
I'll have to skip some of these just for time. This is all right. One, a suspected unexploded bomb that washed up on the banks of the River Thames turned out to be just a giant Christmas bauble. It's a bomb! It's Merry Christmas. Ah! It's the giant Christmas decoration. Is it a
Ho,
bomb?
ho, ho. Now I've got an atom bomb.
Which I get, because if you think about like, the old sea mines, they're just these big circular things,
Yeah.
which is basically a bauble,
Yeah.
and it floats up on shore. The device was spotted near Wapping in East London and mistaken for an explosive. So police checked it out. Upon closer inspection, the glittery object turned out to be a bauble. That one is quite long, but we do have a moment for...
Audience segment.
Yeah, we've had a load of audience stuff coming in, so I'm just trying to keep on top of it while
Yeah.
we go through them. So I'll not burn through some of them, but bring them up briefly.
Yeah.
A man was given a final written warning by his work for making a joke that could offend an epileptic in his company. The epileptic in his company was him. Chesney. That's a weird name for a joke, isn't it? What's a good name for a
an
joke?
American name.
Clark. Right, Clark.
Yeah.
You made an epileptic joke that could have offended Clark. You're on
I'm-
notice. I'm Clark.
I'm Clark. I didn't.
Yeah, and the joke was he is epileptic, and people asked him what they should do if you have a seizure. So he said, lie me on my side, don't put me on my back, clear the room because I'll be fitting around and stuff. And if you put a glow stick in my hand, I'll make it into a rave.
Right. That's pretty.
No! That's offensive. You could offend yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
How do I not offend myself?
Yeah.
Just don't. Okay, you're on warning. Jesus Christ. No, that's like self-deprecation to another level.
Really strange.
I'm going to get myself fired by insulting me.
Yeah.
Seemed funny. An interesting fact, around 68% of women who experience cardiac arrest outside of a hospital received a resuscitation attempt from a bystander, compared to 73% of men. So they're saying that statistically, if a man has a heart attack outside of a hospital, they're more likely to be given CPR than a woman.
Okay.
Statistically.
Right.
And you can probably assume a few things, like inappropriateness. Do you want to give the kiss of life to a woman?
Yeah.
You should, absolutely, if they need it. Not if they don't need it. But, if they need it, then, yeah, you need to do that. So maybe that's what they're trying to say. People don't know how to give CPR to somebody with breasts.
Yeah.
Feels like the initial thing.
I was going to bring her back to life, but I didn't want to get me too'd.
But they go... But then they just explain that, yeah, when a woman has a cardiac arrest, it's very different symptoms than when a man has a cardiac
It is,
arrest.
yeah.
So when a man has a cardiac arrest, they go, oh, I'm having a cardiac arrest. And they fall over and people go, he's having a cardiac arrest.
Well,
So
men,
they give him CPR.
people know the symptoms of a male cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
Like the women's ones just aren't very well thing. It's with men. It's always in films and shit. It's in
Yeah.
pop culture.
Yeah.
Like you get the shooting pains up the right arm or whatever. Like heart palpitations, sweats, sometimes vomiting and things.
Yeah.
With a woman, apparently it's like having a flu, and it can just last all day.
Yeah, there is less noticeable symptoms.
Yeah.
I think I've listed some of them. Women have symptoms of an impending heart attack that are less easy to interpret, such as fatigue. Quick, give me mouth to mouth. Why? I'm
I'm
fatigued.
tired.
No, I'm not going to risk.
It's been a long day. But I think the
Fainting,
thing is,
if you faint, do you give CPR to someone who's fainted? Not all the time, right?
no,
It's only when you know that they've been.
you put them in the recovery position.
Yeah, well, anyone lying in the street. No, I just turn them over. Vomiting, quick! Give me the kiss of life.
Oh.
You've just vomited.
Yeah.
That's like a digestive problem, not a lung problem.
Yeah.
And like, you shouldn't just give CPR. I think it's probably bad for your health if someone just gives you CPR.
Well, I think 9 times out of 10 when you give someone CPR, you break their ribs.
Right.
Like, it's just how it is.
Yeah, or maybe they don't need it. Imagine you need it if you've stopped breathing or your heart stopped beating.
Yeah.
Like if you're feeling fatigue, I feel like someone just breathing into you and pressing down on your chest is not going to...
Well,
it might help the fatigue. It might wake you up.
I might be wrong. I thought a heart attack was like an irregular like heartbeat. It's not necessarily that your heart stopped. It's that it's just going fucking mental.
Well, if your heart goes out of rhythm, it has a risk to stop.
Yeah.
So I imagine it's gone out of rhythm.
I thought you could only get it back into rhythm by stopping it and starting it again or whatever with those paddles.
Yeah.
So like the actual act of forcing it, I don't think would like that would be like if you did that with your muscles when they were spasming, like because it's just a muscle, then in theory it would stop spasming, but it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, it's just you shouldn't do it in all circumstances, and you should do it in some. Yeah, but yeah. Just if your heart stops, if you're having a regular heartbeat, you get loads of weird problems anyway.
Yeah,
like fatigue, like all these things.
Yeah, I don't think most women know what the symptoms are too.
Neck pain. My neck hurts.
Right.
Give me the kiss of life.
Yeah.
Or if a woman faints because her neck's hurt, you don't immediately. I wouldn't immediately go. This woman needs CPR.
Yeah. No.
And jaw pain. Oh, my jaw hurts.
Yeah.
Well, she's having a heart attack.
Yeah.
You know. And I get, and so, right, so the article's presented as it's a sexist thing.
Yeah.
And it's not. I think it's more of a symptom thing. But the argument of the article...
It's a knowledge thing.
Yeah, the argument of the article is people should know more. And as always, you go, yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
everyone
absolutely.
should know more.
Awareness.
But then you have to go, it's not as simple as if a woman has jaw pain, give her mouth to mouth.
Yeah.
You go like, no, there needs to be more information than what you're giving here. Because all the men more than likely report that they just got chest pain. And you go, oh, you're having a heart attack.
Yeah.
Not jaw pain, it's heart problem. It's just more complex. So, yeah. I get the article's trying to make a point. I think they're making the point quite badly. And you just go like, well, if you want to teach and educate, then what are the real reasons you can see? I know that women do have these different symptoms, but what's the final thing that you can... How can you definitely decide that it's worth risking CPR for somebody?
Yeah.
You know, is it that they vomited all over you? I don't know. This one's vaguely quick. In the 70s, Russian scientist Anatoly Bogorsky was a researcher at the Institute for High Energy Physics, working with a Soviet particle accelerator. It broke down, so he put his head in it, and he got hit at the speed of light
by a particle.
So there's this big, the Hadron Collider or whatever in Sweden or wherever it is. There's the Soviet version of that. And it just wasn't...
we drive around very fast.
Put it in H. Whereas it's just broken down. It's just not working. Like a computer that won't turn on. Your Xbox is flashing.
Yeah.
So he's open up a panel, just put his head in it. Just turns on. Particle at the speed of fucking light goes in his head. He's fine. And he's come out of it, and all the team are like, "What? What do we do? What's next? Are you gonna transform into something?" No one's ever been hit by a particle at the speed of light in the face before.
Particle man.
Yeah, and he was just a little bit oh, and there was just no hair or something on 2 parts of his head. It went straight through his head.
But it's so small that it's. I guess
he felt no pain.
Yeah.
That was weird. But yeah, everyone thought he was just dead. You're dead now. You're just going to fall and die any day now.
Yeah.
So, cheers, Anton and Natalie. His face got really swollen as well.
Yeah.
It went out through his nose. Yeah, they thought it would only last a few days, and he was fine. The left side of his face gradually got paralysed, but apart from that,
apart from that, it's all right.
he also suffered at least 6 seizures and experiences absence seizures. So he's got a lot of seizures.
Yeah.
But for a guy who got hit in the face at the speed of light,
Yeah.
it seems fine.
It seems okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that was definitely entertaining. Oh, and very, very lastly, because I just missed this clip.
Seagulls!
Quick fire segment. It's illegal to hunt whales in Oklahoma. It's a
Okay.
landlocked state.
Yeah.
There's no sea to be found, but it is illegal to be hunting whales.
We just wanted to make our stance clear.
We do not agree with hunting whales on land, at least. If
Yeah.
you find a whale in a puddle, don't hunt it.
Yeah. Because whales in Oklahoma are so rare.
Yeah. Don't go out looking for whales in supermarkets.
Yeah.
Don't hunt them like Jumanji.
Yeah.
Just hunt them, in the sea in other countries, in other states, but not here. We're
Yeah.
against it. We disagree with it. Blackfish. Apparently, SeaWorld can't get any new whales.
Probably not.
So they're just waiting for the last 3 to die.
Waiting for them to die, which is
So
just
weird.
Why not?
Why are you dying and alone? Because of a documentary.
Why not just let them? Just,
Yeah,
I know you
just-
can't. They can't let them go now because these whales don't know what they're doing. But
Yeah. But put them in, like, a
there have been
retirement
others
home.
who've released them into like very large kind of sanctuaries
Yeah.
where they've like cordoned off like a whole cove
Yeah.
and they've got a couple of whales in there. Like just
Yeah. Just do something like that. With it.
just do that. But apparently, I heard like Marineland, which is the Canadian equivalent of SeaWorld, is apparently just way worse. But there's never been like a documentary about it.
They
Like,
haven't.
everybody. Did you see Blackfish?
No.
It's horrific. Like
Yeah.
it's just and it was incredibly effective.
Right.
Like for a long period on Google Maps, you could go and look at SeaWorld and see like a very sad whale in a tiny tank, like just like yeah,
like-
and it was very, very effective documentary, and hopefully we're getting to a point now where it's just a thing that'll die out. Like
You seen that Blue Planet 2 where those walruses are committing accidental suicide?
That
was pretty effective.
yeah,
I had like some popular that get retweeted and posted about something.
I did see that, but I also read a
whales
counter.
jumping off cliffs or rolling off cliffs.
I read a counter argument that said we
I think these walruses should be killing them.
no.
Straight
No.
pride. Walrus death pride.
No, but that said we've actually been aware of this for like a long time. Like it's been accounted for a couple of centuries, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a method of population control. Like it's not necessarily it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, like it's not a good thing. It's not nice. But
Yeah.
it's not it's not because they're sad.
The effect of
Like
is it the effect that they don't want to add to the greenhouse effect? I don't
What,
want
the walrus?
overpopulation. Yeah, they're just like,
I'm
overpopulation
going
is
to
the
take
biggest polluter.
responsibility for my own methane and kill myself.
It just feels like they're doing it by accident, and it's just like the stupid dying off.
Yeah.
Buying
It's-
that, and yeah, the side
Most
effect
of
is
the time,
it
it's
controls
because
population.
there's not enough room.
On the cliff.
Yeah, that's where they.
Move over, Greg. Oh,
Oh no, Greg.
where's Greg? Yeah. Slowly shuffling. It's the same thing as like saying like pandas
Like
not
the
recreating
scar
is a
of
good thing.
walruses.
It's like, well, yeah, it's a thing. They're not recreating pandas,
Yeah,
but recreating. Yeah, recreate.
procreating.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Recreating is like playing Tetris.
Yeah,
These pandas won't play Tetris. Bastards! Play Tetris, you prick! Forgot how much I love that phrase, and I saw myself saying it in last week's episode. I think the line was, "Dogs don't have lips
Yeah.
to play trumpets, you prick."
dogs can't play brass instruments.
You prick. Oh, love saying that. It's great. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's me for this week.
Cool. All right. Well, let's just go.
Steve's collection of useless meanderings. Scum.
Scum. Charles Darwin ate every animal he ever discovered, seeking out birds and beasts which were unknown to the human palate. This is before he realised what evolution was or whatever. He was actually just like trying to find shit to eat. I haven't eaten that before. I'm going to eat that.
It's only wafer thin. Going around accidentally proving evolution.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just eating everything, and I'm top of this chain. So everything's fine.
Yeah. It's like, did you ever see the cartoon of Charlotte's Web?
Not to my memory.
Oh, never mind. There's a rat in that called Templeton who just eats everything. It's like that, but it's Charles Darwin.
Friends with a spider.
Yeah.
Evolution, mate. Evolution.
Yeah.
It's going around. I read something that there was a turtle so delicious that we ate it out of extinction. Like to the point where we were shipping. I think it was like giant turtles, tortoise or whatever.
Yeah, it's
And
always things like that
so
were too
delicious.
slow to get away. We did that with dodos as well. We hunted them to
they were just native to an island.
Yeah,
where there was just no predators.
With it, there was a big deal with like the Galapagos. I think the dodos. I might be wrong. I probably am, but I think the dodos were one of these species that was on the Galapagos Islands, and the Galapagos Islands had at no point in their lives encountered humans, so they didn't know what we were. There's no predators or anything, but they manage population by availability of food as opposed to being killed.
Mm.
So they would just walk up to people, and people would just stab them.
You said you might be wrong.
I might be. I know that's a part of how they died out. I just don't know if it was the Galapagos.
Okay. I made the redaction segment.
Bees can't work at the post office. Don't serve serial killers margaritas. Miranda rights are hilarious.
Yeah.
And there was a Hitler one that rubbed out.
It was like Adolf Hitler promo ? Nah, we'll put it in. So for those listening, that was just like a chalkboard, somebody writing redactions, and it's going to be writing all the redactions that we've ever done.
Yeah.
I couldn't find yours. I swear you've done more than I have. So I might need to get your redactions that you've done.
Yeah, I think
something about like someone who was in a film that you thought was somebody else.
I think my redactions, I've only done them once or twice, but I think they were at the start of one of the episodes.
That's what I thought. Looking through them, and it's just hard to find a 20-second redaction in it.
Yeah.
But that's the same. And it's just someone writing on a chalkboard, and it's just going to be writing all that stuff. So I think it kind of works.
Oh.
So it might be on there.
It nearly came back to me. I know what it was.
You thought someone was in a film and it was a different actor or something. I think that was like your first one.
Oh, Barbara Streisand. It was the Barbara Streisand is in Hocus Pocus. It's not.
Right, yeah.
Bette Midler.
Right, cool.
That was it.
I'm trying to find that. Was that videoed? I feel like that was videoed.
It was.
Yeah.
It's recent.
Yeah.
So
that might end up being on this list. We'll keep in touch. I'll update it.
Fun. All right. 3% of all movies in the 60s featured quicksand.
Well, the problem is, once you introduce quicksand into the movie themes, if you try and get away from it, it only pulls you in further.
Yeah. So we're lucky it was only that much.
Yeah, it could have been everything.
I remember when I was a kid, like, quicksand was very much more of a threat than it is now.
Yeah. It was always just like, that's going to be the end of you. Just walk into that. And it's horrible.
I think it might have been because there was games that I played that had quicksand. There was a Donald Duck game
we just played tennis
that I played that had quicksand on the Mega Drive. I mean,
yeah.
And maybe some kinds of Sonic games had quicksand in them as well.
Yeah,
it was a very real threat.
It
to
was
an 8-year-old.
Everywhere. And it is weird because it's sand, isn't it? And sand's time, so it's like time.
Just drags you down,
drown you in time.
Oh, the metaphors.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg has an AI assistant named Jarvis who is voiced by Morgan Freeman. Because fucking of course he does.
Why isn't it done by Michael Fassbender? If you're going to go to the extent of getting Jarvis, which was Iron Man's assistant, who was also artificial intelligent, just get Fassbender in. Why have you got Morgan Freeman?
I guess just because you can.
If
you got that much money, I mean, short of actually paying Morgan Freeman to just sit in your office all day and do paperwork.
Just read out all these different. It's not that hard. It's only 5 minutes of stuff. Do you remember when voice activation first came out? And it was like you have to read these sentences.
Yeah.
So it's like 5 minutes of or 10 minutes of reading these sentences, and then it understood you. That's probably all Morgan Freeman had to do, was just say like the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
You've got mail.
And it just morphs everything into now it can say anything.
Yeah.
It's easy work, I guess.
Yeah.
Charge a high price. Not everyone can have Morgan
Did you see
Freeman.
that thing that Joe Rogan put out a few weeks ago?
Which one?
Where he's now talked so much that there's a team of people who've put like hours and hours of footage of him talking into a machine, and they can now make the machine say anything that they want it to, and it sounds exactly like Joe Rogan.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. No.
Yeah, it's and like he
Joe
posted
Rogan
a thing
machine.
about it. He's like, well, this is what I get, I guess.
1,000, 1,200 episodes of work.
Yeah. And it's not like it's just picking out like words that he said and
just
structuring them
sounds
into a sentence. Like it actually just sounds like Joe
him.
Rogan. Yeah, it's learnt what he sounds
The
like.
deep fakes, isn't it?
Yeah.
That are just getting more and more realistic.
Just fucking
They
weird.
started off as fucking on Conan O'Brien's show in the 90s of just like a photo with the mouth cut out.
Yeah.
Just someone going,
Oh my god, that's kind of right.
and then it just got like more and more CGI'd.
Yeah.
Now we're here. The point where you can make a video of anybody saying anything. What was the big thing? Putting celebrities into porn.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? I think Natalie Portman was the one, I think, of putting her face on.
Yeah.
Porn
Yeah.
stars
I
or
think that as far as I'm aware, the companies actively hunt those out and delete them.
Yeah.
Because obviously
The
it's
companies. The deep fake, not the porn company. We've got to get out there and kill Natalie Portman.
don't delete the people.
Yeah,
Like,
the deep fakes need to go out and remove the stuff for it. But apparently it's just, it's a really simple process. I was tempted to try it out.
yeah.
Like for some stupid, funny video. And it was like, apparently it's literally just, hey, just let this website run a couple of algorithms. And the longer you let it run, the better the deep fake is.
Yeah.
It's like, that seems really easy.
Yeah.
Odd, but okay.
It's yeah. I'm afraid to kind of venture into it. Like I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't want to know how good it is.
Do a deep fake of me on you.
Yeah.
Ah!
There are over 1 million penguins who live in the Falkland Island minefields because they're too light to set off the mines.
Not because they love the area.
No.
Well, I guess
Which is-
again controls population if you start
It's
getting
fantastic.
obese.
Yeah.
Save the health system of the penguins.
Great way to tackle
Boom.
health issues. Yeah. Perfect.
That would spawn some weird religions amongst the penguin community, right? Melissa exploded last week.
Yeah.
Well, she did have that extra fish. If you have too much fish, you explode. Says the fish gods. Really paranoid, really tribal penguin. Stop, you one of the exploders. What? The Falkland Islands. Were we ever going to go on their land? I don't know. I guess we did.
I don't know anything about that whole thing.
The only thing I know is the joke is that our artillery fired further than their artillery. So we just stayed out of range of their artillery and bombed them to shit.
Oh, right. That's funny.
Yeah. So that was just like, yeah, that's what it was. And yeah, it's just like a little English island that I think wanted independence.
Oh,
A
right,
British
okay.
island that wanted independence.
Yeah.
Don't know any more about it, but I want to know more. If you know more about the Falklands Islands,
Yeah.
send
Maybe.
us a message.
Yeah. Maybe we'll look it up. Probably not.
Maybe.
Redacted.
Quick fire.
And number 5, President Jimmy Carter left nuclear codes in a pocket of his suit jacket and sent it to the dry cleaners. They threw it in the bin. People are just stupid, man.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's the thing. I think there's so much of all that fear about, Donald Trump's going to have the nuclear codes. It's like, they must have so much idiot protection already before Trump came along. Because people are stupid.
yeah.
That it's not that easy. It's not his decision. But it is his decision. Okay, I'm sure in your world it is. But in my world, no, it doesn't. He has like a bunch of people who will say, yeah, we did nuke that place. Can I see the footage? They shut Independence Day. So yeah, North Korea, it's gone now. And everybody goes like, oh, I deleted North Korea. It's like, fucking moron. Just carry on with life. Loads of people have to say yes. Loads of processes have to go through. People saying like the most important, the most powerful person in the world was like prime minister or president. It's like, no, they just get to ask people to do things for them.
Yeah.
Those people that do the things
Will
have
still
the power.
say no. Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems a bit.
Yeah. This is a new a subsection of scum because I've been getting so many of these recently.
Did you know this thing about bees?
We do get a lot of stuff about bees.
Soon after, a bee flies past an evening primrose.
Oh, for God's sake! Who wrote this?
I don't know.
Soon after, I'm not going to give a time frame or a point of reference. Just at some point past around tea time.
Yeah.
Has to be a primrose.
An evening primrose. The flower increases the sugar content of its nectar by 30%. Playing bee sounds has a similar effect, but there is no effect on the flower when other vibrations are emitted. If you play a bee sound to a flower, it gets sugary.
It's like
not a good thing
Pavlov's
to tell a diabetic
flower.
recovering from fizzy drink addiction.
Yeah.
Maybe if I shove this coke in a hive of bees.
Great. But yeah, like it's like Pavlov's primrose or whatever. Like you play certain noises and it salivates, just more sugar.
Yeah.
Makes sense, but it depends whether you find that horrific or romantic, right? You'll probably find it romantic. But like, it depends on whether they enjoy, whether plants have a positive or negative reaction to being harvested by bees. Right? It could be like, this is a wonderful feeling. I'm very happy because plants feel on some weird level. Like, is that like a genuine nice feeling, or is it like, oh, something good's gonna happen, and then they just get ripped to shreds by bees? Because it's like, either it's like a really nice thing, oh, it's lovely, like putting rose petals on a bed to have for a rose to have sex, or it's just somebody accidentally wearing the wrong clothes within the wrong area at the wrong time and getting gang raped. You're like, there's two different stories. Which is it? Are we happy or sad, flower?
Yeah. I think flowers like bees. I think if flower was a person, it would probably like bees. Yeah. It needs them to live.
Well, I think we can agree that a plant's best friend is the sun. So, like, if your best friend is a fire, like, there must be like other. I mean, you're basically getting sunburn every day. That's what being a plant is. So if that's your existence, I imagine bees are probably fine.
Yeah.
Well, that's something to think about.
that's one to grow on.
Yeah. Do you think that flowers are being horrifically brutalized when they're being pollinated, or do you think they're enjoying it?
Or do you think they enjoy it, as in the classic sexual harassment? Like,
do you think that it was what they were wearing?
Yeah, it's what they asked him for it. Coming out here with your bright colours and your pollen.
Yeah, because obviously the invitation's consensual, but we don't know about the act.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. See what's
Your Honour, she got more sugary. She definitely wanted it.
Yeah. She heard bee sounds. I started imitating a bee. It's gone very well. It's really opened up my sex game. And obviously it worked. So everything's fine. What, because I'm not a bee? It's not consensual?
Quite frankly, I find it weird that I'm in a courtroom.
Yeah. Dancing.
Yeah.
My testimony about having not raped.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you've got more information, email us at wisdom@pullingteethpodcast.com.
Any more about the mating rituals of bees or the plight of the primrose?
Yeah. Send us an email.
Was Primrose asking for it? Hashtag
Rosegate. And we're at Pulling Teeth Pod on Twitter
and Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm at Sing It Steve.
I'm at Nick Snip.
We are wisdom@pullingteethpodcast.com.
Yep. I'm gonna have to look at the camera, aren't I? If you wanna, I hate doing this, but if you want to show us any love, then iTunes reviews and YouTube comments, YouTube subscribers, that kind of thing. If you want to.
Yeah, you don't have to.
We're not this people who be like, oh, by the way, didn't you know you can do this?
Like and subscribe!
Yeah.
No.
But genuinely, like, if you want to show support,
If you
then
want to.
just give us a subscribe, give us a comment, give us a review.
Yeah.
It'd be greatly appreciated. Give us a share.
All right.
All fun.
All right. That was 140 in 12 weeks. It'll have been like another fucking year.
Yeah.
That's when the experiment began. When we started
50
getting more complicated.
Yeah.
At episode 100.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. At 100. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saddam took a more center spot.
Bring him back.
Yeah. It was like Saddam, right? Yeah. Saddam. Here's loads of Saddam. Now we've got video.
Yeah.
What can we do with that?
Deep fake.
Yeah. Deep fake Saddam Hussein. Yeah. Fair enough.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah. See you next week.
Yeah.